My name is Abigail Solomon, and I have a learning disability. But I am more than a diagnosis. I was in kindergarten when I had my first run-in with trouble. I was playing house with another girl from my class by the basketball hoops when all of a sudden she picked me up from behind, surprising me as this was not regular house playing etiquette. On impulse, I sunk my teeth into the arm that was holding me up. She, realizing I had indeed just bit her, quickly set me down and ran to find the teacher on duty. Long story short, I had to go to the principal's office and call my parents. On top of that, I had a very hard time in school and had few friends. The fact that I needed so much help, though, continued to worry my parents and teachers. After the first semester in first grade, my teacher encouraged my parents to take me to a doctor and see if anything was wrong. Later that year, I was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Despite the added comfort of finally having a reason to explain why I had so many challenges and sometimes did things seemingly uncontrollably, my struggles did not just disappear overnight. My diagnosis was merely the beginning of a very long and hard journey as I worked to overcome the many obstacles my learning disability created. As I learned how to deal with my ADHD, I continued to press forward in school and at home. While I was no longer in danger of having to repeat a grade, however, school continued to be a challenge. I had a very hard time with some of my teachers. While most were wonderful and helped me tremendously, some made it even more difficult to move past my ADHD. When I was in 4th grade, my teacher would sometimes ask me if I had taken my medication that morning, if I was being a little extra unfocused or hyper. She would even tell the class that I couldn't help it because I had ADHD. I'll never forget the shame that I felt in her classroom, and I hope to instill confidence in people and build them up because I know what it's like to feel like you aren't smart because of something you can't control. To make matters worse, I still struggled socially. The hardest question to answer all through elementary school was after school when my mom would ask, "Who did you play with at recess?" I did my best to find ways to be included, but unfortunately, most of my recesses were spent circling the playground by myself. I am very lucky that I got to grow up with 3 sisters, however, as they made it so I always had a friend at home. My family was incredibly patient with me and never once treated me like I was less capable than others. Their unfailing optimism and diligence in helping me reach my full potential helped me have the same dedicated attitude toward my future. Because they believed in me, I found it easier to believe in myself. This being said, life was nowhere near perfect. In fact, most of the challenges that I had as a result of my ADHD presented themselves at home. We laugh about this now, but when I was 7, my older sister wrote this in a letter to my mom. "I know Abby can be really mean sometimes, and lately there's been a lot of contention in our home about her or because of her. Don't blame yourself." Most importantly, they taught me to stand up for myself. This habit of self-advocacy has benefited me through middle and high school. In the future, I want to be able to help as many children as possible realize their potential and be advocates for themselves. I have been able to be a role model for kids in the 2nd grade as I have served as an elementary aide for over a year. I've been able to help kids with their math and spelling and encourage them when they're having a hard time. I also volunteer as a dance teacher once a week where I get to see young ballerinas be creative. I am a happy, involved, and good student. I am a student body officer, a Key Club officer, a BPA national qualifier, and a youth member on the District 5 Juvenile Justice Council. I am also in honor choir and volunteer as a dance teacher. I would definitely not be where I am today without my family, who were always patient with me when I was having a hard time. Caring teachers also played a large part in my growth as a person. Because of their impact on me, I want to be an elementary teacher after college because I've seen firsthand how they changed lives. When I go to college, I will be pursuing a degree in elementary education, where I hope to be able to help as many children as possible. I know what it's like to be a forgotten kid in school, a lost cause, as it was. Teachers forgot about me a lot and kind of wrote me off, but I know how capable these students are. All students have potential, and I want to inspire a love of learning in each and every one of my students. I am proud of who I have become. I hope to help children learn to celebrate their differences, one student at a time. My involvement as a student body officer, a key club officer, and a BPA officer have taught me valuable leadership skills and taught me to be grateful for my ADHD because it allows me to be a better leader than I would otherwise. I have recently started a lunch buddy program at the elementary school where I've recruited 12 high school students who go once a week and eat lunch with kids who need a friend or positive role model. I am grateful for my enthusiasm, my energy, and my impulsive behavior because it lends the ability to be able to multitask and be a better leader and a better friend. It has been my experience that the more we talk about learning disabilities and the challenges that arise, the more we recognize that it's a part of life and we all have challenges, but that doesn't make us bad people. It doesn't mean that we're any less capable than anyone else. It means that we have different attributes to bring to the table, different skills, different ideas, different ways of thinking about life. It's a good thing, and we need to share that with other people and break down the stereotypes.